So Splatoon 3 and Tableturf have been out for 10 months now, and Tableturf has changed a lot since the beginning, especially now that there's online multiplayer. Playing real people versus playing the CPUs is like a whole different game. I run a casual Tableturf event for beginners, and I see a lot of people make some common mistakes, so here are some updated tips specifically to help players who can beat the CPUs, but find that they're kind of struggling against people online. My first tip? Build a deck out of cards that are compatible with each other, and by that I mean cards that fit together well and that can easily activate each other's special points. Building special points and optimizing your use of space is super important, and you need to have a reliable way to build special points no matter the map. If you have checkerboard cards mixed in with a lot of straight lines, you'll find it pretty hard to activate their special points, so make sure your cards don't clash with each other. If you can remember what cards are in your deck, you can actually set up multi-card combos that will maximize your use of space, and while I don't recommend taking it to the level that benisun here is, it does look very cool. However, you can't rely on a few specific strong card combos because you just might never draw the cards that you need. You need to try to find a lot of different things that work, and I highly recommend testing out a lot of combos within your deck. Say you spend 6 turns setting up a crazy combo and waiting for one card, but by the time you draw it, it's too late and your opponent in the meantime has built up a ton of special points and taken up a ton of space. So try to keep your combos simple and versatile. Yeah, it's great to plan out your moves and think ahead, but you can't be thinking too far ahead because it might not happen. Also, if you become too obsessed with the perfect opening combo, you're going to get walled in. Early on, you want to be taking up as much space from your opponent as possible, and if you're playing Tetris with your pieces in your base for the first few turns, you're going to get blocked off by the opponent pretty easily. So early game, go to mid, block off your opponent, and try to leave yourself an entryway into their territory if possible. After you've secured your territory, then you can start fitting your combos together. I've seen new players Tetris their card into a solid patch of plain ink near their opponent's territory, making it very easy for their opponent to swoop in and place a giant card right into it, which brings us to our next tip. Build a Wallace Special that you can still attack from, but that your opponent can't get through. Your opponent can't play cards over yours using their, if you have special points blocking them, and you can only activate your specials if they're touching your special blocks. So imagine it like a sword and shield. You just want to arrange your special blocks in a way where it's difficult for your opponent to enter your territory, but you can still attack them from. Basically, just point your special blocks towards your opponent. This way, when you activate your special and play a card, you don't have to waste your special by playing over your own ink, maximizing the value of the card. The most extreme example of this is by ljovynn here, where in the finals of Golden Duelon Invitational, they famously managed to get a perfect straight line of blocks right across the middle of River Drift, blocking their opponent off completely from their territory. But as you can see, they have one special block deep in their opponent's territory here, giving them perfect access to their opponent's blocks to play a special over. This is insane. Look at this, a full line right across. Everyone in the chat was losing their minds at this. It's famous now. I love it so much. But ljovynn, dang man, it's crazy. Next, you want to make sure that you have a good card size and roll ratio. The decks that are failing in online play are ones that have too many small cards and not enough variety. My original 636 rule is outdated for online play actually, and a lot of players, at least in the West, have moved towards bigger decks with a lot of mid-sized cards. I'd actually recommend using a 3-6-6 ratio, which means the deck has 3 cards under 6 points, 6 cards that are from 7 to 11 points, and 6 cards that are bigger than 12 points. Figuring out the roll ratios is a little more complicated. I mentioned this before, but Soup Cup, a guide by Cobalt that explains the different rolls of cards, is really helpful when building a deck because it can help you figure out if you have too much of one type of card or not enough of another. The actual balance really depends on your own playstyle and what cards you pick, but generally I think having a variety will give you more options when playing online. So to do this, you're going to need more cards. If you're still playing with a starter deck, you will not make it very far online. You can get individual cards by buying them with bits, and you can get card packs from the Shellout machine, completing your catalog, ranking up in Tableturf, finding all the card packs in story mode. There's a ton of ways. I recommend getting your Shellout seed from Lean's site. It will tell you exactly when your next pack is coming in the Shellout machine, and I think Lean's also working on something that will tell you what cards are coming up in your next pack, which will be very helpful deciding what cards I buy or don't buy. So somewhat related to this is that you can now get card bits, 20 card bits every 5 ranks past level 50. In addition, being a high Tableturf rank is kind of like a status symbol in the online Tableturf community. Some people are automating the process, but if you want to rank up legit, the method that I outlined in like my 3rd Tableturf video still works. Just keep putting your Switch into sleep mode until you can find a low level player that gives you 150 experience upon winning. So finally, my number 1 tip for playing online is just sign up for tournaments. We're fortunate enough to have multiple Tableturf tournaments right now in various formats and time zones, so no matter where you are, you should be able to find some sort of tournament. My favorite tournaments to play in are the Tableturf Battle Open every Sunday, and Duel-On every, nope, I got that backwards. Tableturf Battle Open every Saturday, and Duel-On every Sunday, every other Sunday. So be sure to check those out. Some of you might say to me, oh, I'm scared to play in a real Tableturf tournament. What if I lose? Well, you probably will lose. Like, there can only be one winner, and if it's your first time, it probably won't be you. But you know what? Who cares? Because in 150 years, you'll be dead, we'll all be dead, and in another 150 years, no one will remember you, yet let alone if you win or lose one random Tableturf tournament. So you might as well just join in and be a part of something while you're still alive, if that makes any sense. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope some of these tips actually help you guys online. If you like these tips or are looking for something a little different, maybe go back and check out some of my old videos. They might be a little outdated, but I think a lot of the information is still pretty relevant, which is why I haven't really been making more because like not that much has changed. This video probably just sums up everything. Also, a reminder, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. PST, I hold a Tableturf happy hour drop-in event in the TBS pool, so if you want to play something casual, just hop in at the start time, and hopefully I'll see you at the next one. Alright, bye!